The following program is furnished by K1 International, LLC, and is responsible for its content. Now, from the 5th floor Cumulus Studios in downtown Dallas, it's time for Inside Real Estate. Here's your host, Michael Kruizinga.
Good morning, Dallas. Welcome to your Sunday morning. Welcome to a Super Bowl Sunday morning. Hope you're doing good out there. Hope you're making us a part of your every Sunday morning. We're here live 8 to 9 a.m. and a very rare live show these days. And we're here every Sunday morning. Good morning, Terri and Richard.
Good morning. Yes, we are live this morning. Just
Good
barely
morning.
alive, but we're alive.
Yes, we're barely alive, but live. Hey, folks, by the way, InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website, and if you haven't tuned in before, you know, we talk not only about a little bit of real estate, but business as well, and, of course, we talk a little bit of sports, politics, and entertainment to kind of round out the whole show and, you know, keep it fresh through the entire show. Lots of social media on the website. We have podcasts, you know, however you get your audio, whether it's SoundCloud or iTunes, we've got that. You can pick up past interviews. We do a lot of special guest interviews on this show. And past information. So if you're thinking about buying or selling or investing in real estate, a lot of good information on the website, on the past episodes. And, of course, if you're searching, we've got the app. All that good stuff is right there on the website for you. By the way, I want to mention this. We're going to be working on some seminars that we're all going to actually be offering. And I want to reach out right now, though, to, you know, anyone who's a member of a church in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We are doing a custom seminar for your church for free, by the way, where we'll bring out our panelists from the radio show. And so we'll do first-time homebuyer seminars. You know, if you've got young folks in your congregation that are in that process of, you know, going from, you know, millennial baby just out of college, you know, into adulthood and starting a family. And, you know, the next step is, you know, purchasing a home. We'll do the first-time buyer seminars for them. A lot of them are going to qualify for zero-down homes. You know, there's a lot of different VA plans. If they're a nurse or a firefighter or a teacher or a police officer, there's programs for them. There's lots of different programs that we can come out and talk about. And, of course, we've got Richard's our insurance expert. There's a gazillion things related to insurance and how important that is in your life. Same thing with mortgage. And then, of course, we have a lot of home improvement partners and other partners as well. We're actually working on bringing on some medical partners, some doctors to be a part of the show as well. So a wide range of experts that we can bring to you, to your church. We can do it in a small setting, in one of your smaller rooms. We can do it in the larger, whatever you prefer, and we can customize something for, you know, the group that you think we're going to be presenting in front of. So that's for free. So, you know, if you're a pastor out there, if you're a member of a church out there and you're listening, mention this to your pastor, your ministers, that, hey, we're offering this for free. You can go to the InsideRealEstateRadio.com website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com website, connect with myself, Mike, and we'll get you taken care of. We'll schedule something for you, and like I said, we'll get out there and handle it for free.
Absolutely.
Lots of great information that we could provide to the congregation for sure.
Yeah, and it's not just for first-time home buyers. I mentioned that because, you know, it's something where that's a service that they really do need because there's so much that goes into being a home buyer in this day and age, but also for current homeowners. You know,
Right.
We have so many home improvement partners, and there's so many scams out there that are targeting people in home improvement categories. And, you know, also how to refinance, take advantage of, you know, the best rates. A lot of people are confused about Texas cash out, getting money
Right.
out of your house, utilizing your house, the equity that's in it. There's so many ways to utilize the equity that's in it to then maybe reinvest in other real estate. And then, you know, investments overall.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things I was going to touch on was the investment part of it,
Right.
which is something that a lot of people don't realize has a lot of pitfalls, probably more so than buying your house.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And look, I mean, we're not in this for, selling CDs. It's not a seminar where it's,
right. We're not there to sell anything.
Yeah, we're not there for, sign up for my $39.99 a month,
right.
plan. Or this
here's
is
my book. Buy my book.
Exactly. It's look, we're just there to help.
Right.
We think our services are great. And if we can help you in our services of industry, then great. But this is a service for you. Hey, it's completely free. By the way, talking about investing, I wanted to mention this because people don't seem to understand this, and they think they have to go to financial advisors for this type of thing or specialists out there. But there are really good real estate agents out there that can do this for you, and there's very few that can. So I understand why there are niche specialists that are financial advisors or real estate planners, for this type of thing. But really good real estate agents can handle this for you. So let's just say, hey, you call me, hey Mike, I want to invest $150,000 in something safe, something tangible, but I don't want to deal with renters. I don't want to deal with evicting anybody, collecting rent, anything like that. Okay. And they're like, look, I don't even want to deal with property managers. Okay. Not a problem. Guess what? What we'll do is, okay, you say, I want to invest $150,000. I will go out. We will find a rental property that's in that price range where we can purchase something for you. And it's, your investment, your dollar's investment to a house. You become the lender. Okay, you become first lien, and you have full foreclosure power of that property. And we're going to pay you a set interest rate. It's going to be a set dividend that you're going to get every month back. It's going to be a set interest rate. It's a guaranteed rate of return, so you'll be getting that back every single month. Your principal is guaranteed by the property. Should anything ever go south, you have full foreclosure power. Essentially, instead of the Bank of America or Wells Fargo buying that property and them being the lien holder, it's the same exact situation. You as Jane Doe or you as Bob Smith, you fully own that property as the lien holder. We run and manage and own the property as well. We're the owner, but it's yours. You're the bank. And so this is an opportunity for people to get a set dividend, a set interest rate return back every single month. We can do it for a minimum of 1 year, but, go to 3 years. And then if you want to cycle to another property or stay involved, because if you can get a nice set return every month, I mean, wouldn't most people sign up for that?
I would think so. Yeah. And property management, property ownership is a great investment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a great idea, Mike.
Yeah, so give me a call about that if you're thinking about investing in real estate, but you don't want to deal with it. You just want to put your money into it, let somebody else manage it, get a set rate of return, not worry about having to fill it when it's empty and all these types of things. The risk is actually all on us, because we're having to manage the property. And if there are shortfalls in rent income, et cetera, we've got to manage that. So let me take care of that. You get your set rate of return back. And, hey, invest your money wisely. You're backed by real estate. It's a no-brainer. So call me about that. What else? Hey, big show today. Look, we've got Deborah Crombie. She's coming on in the next segment. She's a local author here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, New York Times best-selling author. We're going to discuss Garden of Lamentations, her latest book. So we're going to have her in the next segment here shortly. Plus, later in the show, we've got John Guandolo, who is a former FBI counterterrorism expert, former special operator and author. And, of course, he runs UnderstandingTheThreat.com. We're going to talk about all kinds of good stuff with him. Of course, we've got our business panel. We're going to talk some mortgage, finance. We're going to talk a little bit of insurance and business as well. So we've got all that coming up here in the show. It's action-packed. Here's a couple questions I'm going to leave you with real quick, and maybe we'll touch on some of this later in the show with John Guandolo. But a couple questions for you. When did nationalism become a bad thing? If you're Chinese and you live in China, you're proud to be a resident and a citizen of China. If you are a resident and a citizen of Paris, you're proud to be Parisian or French. If you're a citizen of Russia, proud to be Russian. And so why, when it comes to America, is there a double standard that we can't be proud to be American? So
I don't
go
understand that either.
To your base, wherever you came from or wherever your ancestry is from. For some reason, people relate to that more than being American.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and when we come here, we assimilate and we kind of get rid of all that, for the most part. And once you're here a few generations, you leave it all behind and you become American. So think about that. Why is nationalism a bad thing? I mean, can we not all be proud to be wherever we're from? If we're living in that country, if you live in Australia and you're Australian, be proud to be Australian. Here's another question for you. Have we become a nation of followers? Are we looking to rappers and thespians of the acting sort and singers for leadership in our lives? I don't think we should be. So that's just something to think about. A couple questions for you guys to ponder out there. Hey, folks, we're going to be right back with Deborah Crombie. Stay tuned.
You've got a retirement account. How much of your wealth depends on the now sky-high stock market? Everybody knows what goes up must come down. When the house of cards falls and the dust clears, how much of your nest egg will you lose? Are paper assets as safe as the three-piece suit hucksters want you to believe? One thing is certain. Real gold and real silver have remained valuable for thousands of years. Gold and silver in your hand is real wealth. Position yourself to profit from future stock market corrections with help from the Patriot Gold Group. Owning physical gold and silver is like having insurance that can help protect your wealth from the uncertainty of paper funny money assets. Don't wait. Call today and get your free gold and silver investor kit and learn why owning precious metals can be an excellent hedge against inflation and market uncertainty. Call 800-261-1391 today and protect your nest egg. Call now and ask about our limited time $1,500 new account bonus offer. That's 800-261-1391. 800-261-1391.
The Richard Tonihka Insurance Agency in Arlington has nearly unlimited resources when it comes to getting you the best insurance rates and policies for home, auto, and more. As part of the Goosehead Insurance brand, you, the consumer, have the power of choice through the Richard Tonihka Insurance Agency network. Richard can quote over 20 A-rated companies to find the best fit for you, the best policy at the best price. Call Richard today at 817-286-2002. It's the Richard Tonihka Goosehead Insurance Agency, 817-286-2002.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, we are back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. And as you know, we talk about all kinds of things on this show, politics, sports, entertainment, etc. And, of course, we have so many authors that come on the show, and we're so excited to talk to them about their books because I absolutely believe in reading. I'm an avid reader myself, and I think everybody needs to read, really a book a week or every couple weeks. And so, hey, we've got Deborah Crombie, a local Dallas-Fort Worth area author here. By the way, she's a New York Times best-selling author as well. Deborah Crombie is right here. Deborah, are you with us?
Hi, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning. How are we this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
I am excellent. And, we talk to a lot of authors in the show, and it's nice to talk to somebody right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You're up there in McKinney, isn't that right?
I am. We've been here for 21 years, I think.
Yeah, and you kind of bounce back and forth a little bit over across the pond. And, of course, you got to get a lot of great inspiration for these amazing books you write over there. And so you spend a fair bit of time over there in the UK, right?
Yeah, I do usually spend a month to 2 months out of the year in the UK. I was just there in October and November for about a month in the fall.
Absolutely. Well, we've got the latest book right here. Great book, Garden of Lamentations is the latest book. By the way, folks, it is available wherever fine books are sold. And, of course, you can go to her website as well. And you've got let's talk about a couple business items real quick. You've got a couple signings coming up, a couple of events coming up here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, too. Isn't that right?
Yes, I do. The whole ball starts rolling on Monday. I will be in Houston, but Tuesday night at 7:00, I will be at the Barnes & Noble Lincoln Park, which is the Barnes & Noble. It's just right across Northwest Highway from North Park. And then Saturday the 11th, I will be signing up here in McKinney at Diggin' It, which is the garden shop on Tennessee Street. And the books will be sold by Half Price Books.
Very cool, very cool. Well, let's get into the book a little bit. This is I love the way you write because you're so detailed and you paint such a vivid picture of the background the scene. And then, of course, I think what's also unique about this series is that, you've got a husband and wife who are both detectives, and they kind of both have their own projects or there are things that come up, and then they're kind of doing them separately but together to a degree. And so get into how you write for both the sort of the male perspective and the female perspective, and how you can actually draw in a demographic of readership that is both male and female, because that's very difficult to do.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I do have a lot of male readers who really like the books. My detectives started out as colleagues. Garden of Lamentations is the 17th book in the series, so they've had a while to get to this point. And they were colleagues, and then they had a relationship, and then I thought they should do what people normally do, which is to take that step and get married. And then I thought it would be really, really interesting to watch two dedicated police officers try to juggle their marriage and their job, and they now have a blended family, which makes it even more interesting.
Right. Yeah, and of course over the series you kind of have that build up of, when you do have a male and female partner, and you're right, it is just sort of natural, and it happens in law enforcement, and a lot of people have probably seen that type of thing, on TV, and, they kind of root for the couple to get together, and sort of over time this kind of happened, and in this novel it is they're married, etc. Talk a little bit more.
I separated them professionally when their relationship first became really public, because I didn't think that they should be working together or would be allowed to be working together. But
Right.
I heard somewhere not too long ago that at least in the Metropolitan Police, that husbands and wives can work together on the same team if they are of the same rank, which I thought was interesting. And Duncan and Gemma are not at this point, but anything is possible in the fictional future.
Right. Yeah, and you would kind of wonder about that, because emotions can run high, and then if you're going to be in the business of carrying a gun, I wouldn't want my loved one to be nearby when I'm chasing bad guys.
Yeah, except they don't carry guns. So.
Right. Talk about the differences, and when you're researching law enforcement in the UK, talk about the differences between law enforcement in the UK and how it is here in the US. Talk about some of those differences.
Oh, well, that's interesting. The biggest and the most obvious difference is that they don't carry guns, although they do have armed response teams, and we see them in the UK a lot more than we used to. And I say there's even a book earlier in the series, I think, where Duncan, at least, I think, is issued a gun for when they have a confrontation with somebody that they know is going to have a gun. But it does sort of change the whole dynamic, and I think the police in general are more community service
Right.
oriented. You still have your beat cops, your bobbies. Most of them are in patrol cars, but you do still have cops on the street, walking the street, and they're generally pretty open and friendly and interested in helping people. So
yeah, of course, the same as it is here. It's just it's a little bit different, in the UK that like you say, they aren't carrying, and only the response teams do. But there's sort of a different respect, I think, is kind of what I was getting towards, I think, in the UK for that officer, although there are, sort of no-go neighborhoods, just like there are anywhere, where, going in there, unarmed wouldn't be smart.
Yeah, there are neighborhoods there, and London is a big city. I mean, and if you're just talking about London is a big city, and there are areas where you probably wouldn't want to go by yourself at night. But I've actually been in a lot of different parts of London by myself because, I usually am traveling by myself, and I have never not felt safe.
Right. One of the things I loved about this book and, how this kind of differs from a lot of other books you read that are maybe a similar genre, mystery or thriller, those types of books, is that, this was just, I found it to be really eloquent, and it really was centered on the mystery and the story versus getting bogged down in, repetitive confrontations that were only physical. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I found, I found that to be unique, and it was refreshing.
I think the books are very character driven, and they are very much police procedurals where you see the detectives, whichever character is leading that part of the story, you see them follow the trail of an investigation.
Right.
And, there's not a lot of fighting or, although it has been known to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, I absolutely enjoyed the book. This is, folks, you need to check this out. You need to read it. It's a great book. By the way, 17th in the series. If you haven't caught some of the other ones, you need to go back and grab some of those and, read this series. What an amazing series. This is a local DFW area author. We're talking to Deborah Crombie. Hey, folks, she's going to be here in Dallas February 7th, Tuesday, Barnes & Noble over at Northwest Highway. And then she's also going to be up in McKinney on Saturday the 11th, Digging It, which is going to be with Half Price Books. That's over at 507 North Tennessee. Hey, folks.
All those things are on my website.
Absolutely. And go to her website, of course, DeborahCrombie.com. And thank you so much for coming on, Deborah. Hey, loved the book.
Oh, and thank you for reading. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you so much. Hey, folks, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Do the Google search results for you or your business make you angry? Unfavorable comments, negative reviews, embarrassing pictures, and harmful articles on the internet are worse than irritating. They can really damage your life and your livelihood. Why? People treat online search results as facts, even if they're not true. Fortunately, you can get real relief from negative search results with ReputationDefender.com. Reputation Defender combats harmful search content using our patented system that makes the best things jump out when people Google you. Trust your personal and professional reputation to the experts with over 10 years' experience getting results. Visit ReputationDefender.com to get a free no-obligation expert consultation and Reputation Defender's free online monitoring service, which gives you a detailed picture of how you look online. To get started for free or to learn more, visit Reputation Defender on the web at ReputationDefender.com.
Folks, it's Mike Kruizinga here with Inside Real Estate Sports Entertainment on 570 AM KLIF. Did you know that virtually all of us will experience a fall in the bathtub at some point in our life? Well, statistically, it's true, and as we get older, a fall in the bathtub can spell disaster, as we just can't recover the same as we did in our younger years. Don't let something as silly and preventable as a bathtub fall put an end to all your special plans you have lined up for your golden years. Invest in a Hydrojet walk-in bathtub. Made in the USA and with the lowest step in the industry, Hydrojet walk-in tubs has your best interest at heart. With no commission sales staff or huge warehouse overhead, they build and sell direct to you, saving you thousands of dollars over their competitors. Call Randy, my friend and owner of Hydrojet Walk-in Tubs at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com. You'll be able to speak with Randy directly, and make sure to mention you heard about it on the radio. And for you veterans out there, there's a grant available for you to cover the majority of the cost of a walk-in tub, making it darn near free. Call Randy at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com today.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, we are back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. That was a conversation with Deborah Crombie, author of Garden of Lamentations, which was 17th in her series. And I had a great conversation with her. By the way, she's local here in DFW, so check her out, deborahcrombie.com. And we are working on getting our next guest on the line, of which is John Guandolo. This guy, former special operator, former FBI counterterrorism expert. He is an author of a couple of books as well as co-author. And then also he operates understandingthethreat.com. Understandingthethreat.com. And so we're working on trying to get him on the air, get him dialed in here. The book that I read, he released this book 3 years ago in 2013. The book is Raising a Jihadi Generation, and it's understanding the Muslim Brotherhood movement in America. And it's a short book. It's really written as a handbook, and he says clearly on the cover, handbook for law enforcement, intelligence, and military professionals. And so the interesting thing about this is that although he wrote this book for law enforcement, really everybody should read this. So it looks like we are having a little bit of trouble getting him on the line. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and skip on to our next segment, and then we'll maybe come back to this when we can get him on the line later in the show. But folks, stay tuned for this because we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about with John Guandolo. So we shall roll into business now.
Business.
Easy segue there, right? Terrorism, business.
There you go.
You know,
hand in hand.
Hand in hand. They go.
In some instances, they do.
That is true, actually, more so than people know. What do you say, Terry? Let's get into some mortgage talk and some business talk.
I'm ready.
Let's rock and roll.
I'm ready.
We've been talking about credit a lot lately.
Yeah.
And,
we're not talking about that today.
It's very important, but
yes,
what else we got?
Well, I thought I'd just kind of go over some do's and don'ts when you go to buy a house. So the first do is to give me a call. We've talked about that so many times.
Yes.
Start the process with your pre-qualification. Yep. We have to look at so many things to make sure it's not just looking at your credit. You know, your credit may be fine, but there are so many other aspects that go into you purchasing a home other than just that credit score. So contact me. Let's take a look at credit. Let's take a look at everything else. The second thing that you need to do is once we send you that list of items that we need it back quickly. We need to take a look at, because, we ask all the right questions when we're taking our application, but sometimes customers don't know the right answers. We'll ask them about what they filed on their tax returns. Did you have any unreimbursed business expenses? Do you have any side jobs that maybe you showed a loss or a gain on? And if they have someone that does their taxes for them, they don't know. So we need to take a look at all those. So we're going to request all of your income documents, all your assets, your liabilities, all the expenses that you have. We're going to take a look at the whole picture, the whole package. Right. So it's important to get those documents back to us as quickly as you can. Yes. Don't slack off on getting the documents back. And the thing is, sometimes people just think, I've got a good credit score and I'm qualified. I'm just good. They don't really need it. Right. I gave them one page that they wanted. Right. Look, it's not, we're just asking for it to be a pain in the butt. These documents are really required and we need it. So you want the loan, we need these documents, need to get them into us. Right. And we don't want to have a summary of your assets. We need to see the actual statements for your assets. Yeah. The underwriter is going to, and here's kind of a goofy one that gets us sometimes, is when we ask for your bank statement, with most bank statements, there's a page in there. I don't know why they do it, but it says this page intentionally left blank. Yeah. Guess what? I need that page too. Got to have that one. Yep. Because if the bank, I know, isn't that silly? Why do they put that in there? If it's blank, don't just have one page less. Exactly. Save a tree. Save it. So, but anyway, when an underwriter takes a look at that bank statement, when it says page 1 of 5, 2 of 5. She wants to see all 5 pages so that we make sure that we're not trying to cover something up is basically what we're looking for.
Right.
So very specific there. But when we're asking for the document, get us the whole document. Next, be sure that all existing loans and credit accounts are kept up to date. Just because we pulled your credit today doesn't mean we won't have to pull your credit again. So make sure you make your payments on time. Okay?
Right.
Be flexible when the appraiser comes out with your time and because we want to get that appraisal report back as quickly as possible. So be kind of flexible with if you're going out for the appraisal to make his schedule not necessarily yours.
Right. Absolutely.
So be a little flexible there. Let us know if there are any fluctuations in your financial situation, any job changes. You would be surprised, Mike. We go to closing. We go to do an employment verification. We've had this happen once before, not very often, but they quit their job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but I'm going to start another job in 30 days. No. You have to have the same job today that you qualified for the loan for.
That's right.
So be sure and let us know if there's any changes. If you're even considering a different job opportunity, let's talk about it because that can really play a big role in whether you get the house or not. If you're a full-time W-2 salaried employee now and you're considering a job that is a good portion of your income is going to come from commission, but you're not used to getting commission, guess what? You just took a pay cut and now you don't qualify for the loan.
Right.
So be sure and let us know any of those things.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you go from the basically being a COO of one company to a COO of another company,
it's usually okay. You're usually fine, but still, I want them to talk to me about it so that I can take a look and make sure that everything's going to be good. Because a lot of times, people will move from one job to another because it's a better opportunity, but some of that opportunity comes in overtimes, commissions, bonuses, where if you didn't have them before, I can't use them now.
Yeah.
Okay? So be sure and let us know about that.
For sure.
And then things to avoid. Don't open any lines of credit. We've talked about this. Mm-hmm. When you go to the airport, when we were talking about that the other day, a couple of weeks ago, don't buy the T-shirt or whatever it is that you get if they pull your credit. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't open any lines of credit.
Please.
While we're in the process. Don't pay off any collection items unless I tell you to.
Unless you discuss it. Yeah.
Unless we discuss it. Because that can hurt your credit. That can lower that score. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, if you update that credit account with a newer last date of activity because you've now paid it, that could lower your credit score.
Yep.
So we don't want that. So just don't make any sudden moves. No sudden moves.
Yes, please.
Unless you talk to me. Don't deposit any large checks that you may get into your bank account without talking to me. Don't transfer any money from, a credit card that you get to take money from. Don't do that and put it in your account without talking to me. Basically, I am your master.
That is correct.
For 30 days.
You are the commander and master.
Yes. What's that movie? I am your captain. Look at me.
That is right.
We do that all the time at home. But that's the truth. You need to talk to me about any moves that you make during that process because we just want to make sure that it's not going to mess anything up.
Well, it's true because there's so many things that people do and they just don't think about it. Oh, that won't bother anything. That won't bother anything. Folks, we're still in an environment that is very regulated as far as it goes to mortgage. So there's a lot of documentation that we need, and there's a lot of things that are going to be potential to screw you up.
Yes.
As the bottom line. So talk to Terri about it, and it could be something that's you don't even think, like paying off.
Exactly.
An old debt. You're like, I paid off an old debt. Great.
Yeah, that'll be great.
That'd
She'll
be great.
love that.
Right. But actually, it doesn't work out so well.
Yeah.
So we need to talk about all those things with Miss Terri.
Right.
And get her approval.
That's right. And I'm ready. I'm ready to get your approval. So, and we've talked about this too before. If right now isn't the time for you to get that approval, we'll get a game plan together so that 6 months, a year, however long it might take for us to get the credit where we need it to be, we've got ideas. We can think outside the box and get a game plan going for you so that we'll be ready in a few months.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, her website, terriwaggoner.com, terriwaggoner.com. And folks, whether it's cash out, Texas cash out, refinance, because interest rates are still great. If you're paying 6%, 7%, 5.5%, from way back when, and you haven't refinanced yet, well, you need to refinance. Call Terri. She'll get that taken care of for you as well.
Another thing that we're seeing in refinances right now is because our property values have gone up so much over the last year or so, that if you're in a mortgage right now that has mortgage insurance, we might be able to refinance you, keep the interest rate somewhat close to what you have, but because your value is so much higher, maybe we take you from an FHA to a conventional with no mortgage insurance. Now your payment's less, even though your interest rate isn't considerably less.
Right.
But because you're getting rid of that mortgage insurance, it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a great point. But yeah, because even if your interest rate doesn't necessarily go down too much, that's a great point because of the value's gone up, the equity's there.
Right.
Great point.
Right. We've done a few of those.
Yeah.
So, yeah, take a look at that or give me a call and let me take a look at it for you. I don't mind doing that mortgage analysis, even if it doesn't pan out that it's going to save you any money. I'll tell you that too.
Right.
I won't just refinance you for no particular reason. Yeah. It's going to have to be a benefit to you before we move forward.
And by the way, folks, what she just said is hard to find in the industry. She just said, I'm not going to write a refinance for you just to write it.
Right, just so that I have it on my books.
She's not in the business of doing that. She's looking out for you, and that's rare in the industry, folks. So, hey, TerriWaggoner.com is the website.
Thank you.
Talk to her. Folks, we're going to take a short break. Come on back.
Folks, it's Mike the Realtor here from Inside Real Estate, and if you're not listing your property with me, bottom line is you're leaving money on the table. There are over 15,000 agents here in the DFW area, most of whom are part-time and do a few deals a year. Do you want to trust them to sell your home? I think not. Call Mike the Realtor, the radio realty expert from Inside Real Estate on 570 AM KLIF. Promise you will get to me direct. Go to InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Don't sell your home with just anyone. Go to InsideRealEstateRadio.com and connect with Mike the Realtor.
Living in the DFW area, expansive clay soil and extreme weather conditions play havoc on homes' foundation. But thankfully, you can turn to Perma-Pure Foundation Repair of Texas, who has successfully repaired over 20,000 properties and counting in the DFW area. With the most trusted, tried and true foundation repair methods, trust the professional staff of Perma-Pure Foundation Repair to take care of your property, and most repairs are backed by a lifetime transferable warranty. Mention Inside Real Estate Radio when calling Perma-Pure at 214-637-1444 or when booking online at permapure.com for your Inside Real Estate Radio discount.
Far from the shores of home, two African-American U.S. Army privates fight for their lives on the battlefronts of World War II. The first Black War correspondents fight to cover the perspective of the black soldier. The novel A Private War, it weaves all this and more into an epic World War II era story of friendship, conflict, religion, and redemption. Get a copy of Private War, a novel by Perry Cockrell today, now available on Amazon.com. And tune in regularly to Inside Real Estate Sundays 8 to 9 a.m. to hear Perry Cockrell, attorney at law, as he provides expert analysis of the latest and greatest in legal news.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we're back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. Welcome to a Super Bowl Sunday. Time to get into a little bit of business and insurance talk. We've got Mr. Richard Tonihka over at Goosehead Insurance. His office is in Arlington, right in the heart of the Metroplex. His website, richardtagency.com, richardtagency.com.
Although my office is in Arlington, I can do anything in the great state of Texas. So if you have investment properties anywhere or you're just looking to move down to the Houston area or anywhere in Texas, let me know.
Absolutely.
But today we wanted to talk about when I'm shopping you with over 20, 25 different companies, some of the water damages that vary from carrier to carrier. And so when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about an HO3 policy. I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody except for people in the insurance industry. But an HO3 policy is basically the most popular home policy in the state of Texas. It's the one that just about everybody uses. There are different kinds of policies, just like everything else. But anyway, we're going to stay with the standard HO3 policy. There are basically four or five different kind of categories of water damage when you're looking at your house. Sudden and accidental. It's exactly what it sounds like. A pipe burst or an appliance. So your pipe bursts. Or your water heater bursts, or you have an appliance that just the hose bursts. something like that, where, I mean, it is a lot of water in a short amount of time, and you have damage not only to your appliance and or house, that's always covered under an HO3 policy. It's something that they're going to pay for the hose or the pipe to be repaired, and they're going to pay for the appliance and or the house to be repaired also, depending on what kind of endorsements you have within it. And it's also, when you're looking at putting in these claims, look at the dollar amount. Don't just automatically go in and say, I have damage to my house, I'm going to start a claim right now. Don't do that. I understand that you want to mitigate and you want to get as much of the money back as you possibly can. But if you don't even hit your deductible, you have a claim on your record, and you basically for nothing, because it's going to show up. Everyone's going to know that you had damage to the house. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't enough damage to get money back from the insurance company. And so now they're going to want to see proof that let's say your water heater that burst. Well, I mean, with a water heater, more likely you're going to have enough damage to put in a claim. But if you didn't, doing that claim, you're going to go in and say, okay, well, show us the proof that this has been repaired. And so talk to your agent, make sure that they know exactly what happened, make sure that you have the documentation saying that the repairs have been made, and because it's going to come up for 3 to 5 years, depending on what carrier you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. And that's important too. Like if you decide to sell the home, like
exactly
when we have buyers and we say, hey, Richard, they're looking at this property, and you run the clue report to show the claim history on it for the last 5 years, then that helps us if something was there, particularly if that house was paid off, because if there's no mortgage on it, the homeowner could have pocketed that money and not made the repairs, or made the repairs on the slight.
Or not just that. I mean, they may or may not have disclosed that the damage was done in the first place. And so if you have that clue report coming in when you're purchasing a new house, you want to know everything that's been done at that house and the damages that they've sustained and or repaired. Hopefully they repaired it, but that at least the damages that the house has sustained.
Right. Absolutely.
The sewer backup and from drains and sub pumps. That is almost never covered by your base policy. It is always something that's added as an endorsement. And a home policy covers your home. It does not cover the pipes that lead from your house to the sewer or to the main sewer. And so if you have a leak in there, that's still not going to be covered by your home insurance, because let's say you have your pipe bursts in the middle of your yard. If it doesn't damage your home in any way, you're still out of pocket all the money to dig in, repair that, and get everything taken care of. Your home insurance will not cover it.
I didn't know that. That stinks.
It does. But
Literally.
But it is called home insurance. And so if there's no damage to your actual home, it is not going to be covered.
Huh.
There's there's really no sense in even thinking about putting in a claim, because every insurance carrier is going to tell you the exact same thing. It's a maintenance issue, and you've got to take care of it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, and we really need to spend one of these segments where we talk really about endorsements that people kind of don't think about, and that's exactly one of them, because
yes.
We would all think, well, I mean, we know it, but you would think that's covered, but no, it's not. There's a lot of things that are like that, and you don't want to wait to find out until after it happens.
Absolutely. And when I first started in the industry, unfortunately, I instructed a client to do the wrong thing, because they did. I mean, one of the years when their pipes froze in the middle of the yard, it was a little too close to the surface, and it ended up bursting. Had water. I mean, once everything settled and everything thawed enough to where you could see the water puddling, I was like, "Oh yes, well, let's get this taken care of." Unfortunately, that's how I found out that it wasn't covered. But it's one of those live and learn things.
It was a long time ago.
Yes. Second endorsement. This is one of the things that I always put on every house that I'm insuring. It's not covered under most policies. It's almost always added as an endorsement, is foundation coverage. And you're going to have people that come in and say, oh, well, it's limited foundation, or yes. Well, every insurance is limited because you've got policy limits. But a foundation is covered up to a percentage for certain carriers and a certain dollar amount with other carriers. but it's almost always an endorsement that you add. And what it does is, if you have a pipe that bursts in the foundation, because since most of the pipelines come in through the floor, if something happens to where it bursts in the foundation, they're going to have to jackhammer, open up your foundation, get in, repair the pipe, and then repair the foundation as well. And that's one of the things that's covered. If you do not have this endorsement, oh my goodness, the amount of money that it takes to jackhammer into your foundation to repair the pipe, and the damage that it could do down the line, because you're getting water underneath your house, which it's just
it's a mess.
Yes, and the amount of this endorsement is going to vary, but on the high side, you're looking at $50 a year, $75 a year. It's well worth it to add this, and that's all of these things. I'm not always trying to give you the best rate. It's always talking about the policy and not the rate first. Yeah. Talk about the policy first. These are the things that we add to the policy to make sure that you're covered. Is that to say that I'm not going to give you the best rate? Absolutely not. And then the fourth major carrier or type of water damage is seepage and slow leak. Never covered. It's always added as an endorsement. And it is something that it can't even be added as an endorsement with certain carriers. It's not an option. It's not something that they want to take care of or ever insure, because it's a pin leak or something that's inside the wall from damage over a long period of time that you don't see. But when it actually does come to view, oh my goodness, you're looking at replacing whole walls, whole rooms, or whatever, because of all the mold and everything, all the damage that it's done over the course of years. Mm-hmm. And most carriers are going to say that this is a maintenance issue and they're not going to cover it. And if you don't have it as an endorsement or even available within that carrier, it is worth the extra money to have this coverage.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Folks, if you haven't thought about endorsements on your homeowner's coverage, don't wait until it's too late when you find out, oh, sorry, that's not part of your coverage. That's why, look, you need to give Richard a call, talk to him about not only your homeowner coverage, but, hey, you got toys, RVs, vehicles, etc. By the way, he can bundle different companies with different types of insurance. He can put your homeowner with one, vehicles with another.
And still give you the discount.
Still give you the discount. And folks, nobody is going to really take the time to go through your policy like Richard is going to, and then he's going to figure out the best policy for you and the best price. But he's going to give you all the options, so there's these endorsements that you really need to discuss, and it may be in your best interest to add a couple of endorsements that maybe take your price up a little bit, but then you're protected.
Yes.
So, folks, RichardTAgency.com, RichardTAgency.com. Hey, folks, we're going to take a short break. I'll see you in a few. With over 3.5 million square feet and 5 DFW locations, Ideal Floors has you covered for all your flooring needs. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, laminate, wood, or vinyl plank, Ideal Floors has you covered. And with their price match guarantee and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, they are the absolute best in DFW for all your flooring needs. Call Kevin Hamus, the owner of Ideal Floors, at 214-789-0422 or go to idealfloors.com for all your flooring needs. When it comes to your mortgage and refinance needs, trust Terri Waggoner, our resident mortgage expert on Inside Real Estate Radio. With a wide range of financing options and competitive interest rates, you can trust Terri for a fast and reliable loan process with superior service. Go to terriwaggoner.com or 469-644-4818 today. Supreme Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID number 207-089, 6730 Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas, 75032. SML Mortgage Banker Registration, Residential Mortgage Loan Originator.
If you have a timeshare, this time of year you're probably thinking about those maintenance fees coming due. Hi, I'm Karen Holloway, owner of Lone Star Transfer, located right here in the DFW area. Before you pay your maintenance fees, call us for a free consultation, 972-722-3166. We'll get you out of your timeshare and put a stop to those maintenance fees, guaranteed. 972-722-3166 or LoneStarTransfer.com.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, we are back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. And unfortunately, we cannot get John Guandolo on the line. And but hey, it's the weekend. It's an early morning. Sometimes that happens. We had a great segment lined up to talk to him about not only his book, but talk about the state of terrorism today and the Muslim Brotherhood, because he's such an expert at it. And actually, kind of in between during the commercials, I was sort of describing him, and I was like, this guy's kind of like a Jack Bauer, of 24. And so that of course got us starting about TV and
right.
What's Kiefer's new show?
Designated Survivor.
Designated Survivor. Yeah, that's right.
It's and I guess I've lived under a rock. I never even knew that thing existed. It's a cool concept. Not as good as Jack Bauer in 24, but still pretty good.
I agree. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I thought it started really slow. It was probably really lame the first 5 episodes. And then towards the end, it started to get better.
Right.
And I actually just finished watching and binge watching the last few episodes a couple weeks ago.
It's pretty good.
It's not bad.
It's not Jack Bauer, though.
Yeah. The girl in it's good. I forget her name, but she was in La Femme Nikita.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember her name either.
She was Nikita in La Femme Nikita.
Yeah, she's good in that.
Yeah,
in
she's
that show.
good. I like her. But yeah, not as good at all as 24.
So are we going to watch the new 24 that comes on tonight?
I guess we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
But I don't, from the previews, I don't understand, is it still CTU, the counterterrorism unit, or is it because it looks like this guy is a military guy.
Yes.
So is it some sort of offshoot, some sort of JSOC type
the last 24, when they ended it last time, they kind of left it open to Jack Bauer coming back. So, because they kind of released him.
Yeah, well, it was a couple years later, and then remember they did that one with him and Chloe and the UK. And
yes.
Why would he ever want to come back? Because 364 days a year, it's a boring job for him. But that one day a year,
yeah, he's busy.
It's one heck of a day.
You guys know the Super Bowl's on the day, right?
What the what?
The Super Bowl.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Well, the Cowboys aren't in it, so I'm not watching.
We're talking about post Super Bowl already.
That's right.
That shows you how interested we are.
That's right. Cowboys aren't there. I don't want to watch.
Exactly. I'm going to go ahead and root for the Falcons.
Me too.
I would like to see Matt Ryan get it, and I'd like to see Atlanta, the city, get it.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I think that they've worked hard to. Every year.
So New England didn't work hard? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that at all. But Atlanta, they keep going, and then they get knocked out. And you feel like maybe it's their year. I have a hard time rooting against the Pats as well. It's not like I root for the Pats all year long. But, look, Belichick is bar none top 5 coaches of all time. Maybe top 2, top 3 coaches of all time, in my opinion. As far as football is concerned, when he's in the room, if he is in the room, he is the smartest guy in the room as far as football is related, as far as I'm concerned. I love Amendola. I love Edelman. They work really hard. Blunt, he works really hard. Brady's pretty good. The only thing I don't like about Brady sometimes is, when he gets hit, sometimes he whines a little bit. But, of course, if you look at, Rodgers, he whines a bit when he gets hit.
I was going to say, a quarterback that whines? Who would have ever thought that?
A lot of them, a lot of them do, and that's why I don't like that part of it. But,
Dak didn't whine.
No,
just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's true. He just got up.
And of course, and then he ran the ball the next carry.
Exactly.
Yeah, he didn't. He's not a whiner.
He's a player.
Right.
And of course, Romo. He gets hit and he doesn't get up.
No, but poor Romo. Poor Romo.
I know. Well, who are you rooting for, Richard?
I'm not watching. I don't know. I don't care.
Do you care either one of them? Yeah.
I know. I'm turning it off during the halftime. I refuse.
Yeah, I'm not too enthralled
I
with
refuse.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be a bit over the edge.
Is she going to wear the meat suit?
I think if she wears anything, it might be a meat suit. I don't know.
She might wear a Trump suit. Who knows?
Yeah.
If she wears a ribeye suit, I'll watch. Because I'll be hungry.
Well, it is the Super Bowl, so there's all kinds of snacks around.
True.
That's a
but
requirement.
that's a steak. It's a ribeye.
Right.
Porterhouse, I don't know. Maybe New York Strip, probably not. I won't
No.
watch.
No.
But if the Pats win, they might as well consider renaming the trophy. Bill Belichick, 11 appearances now.
Yeah.
20% of all the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
That's true.
They might
Well-
consider renaming the trophy.
And somebody needs to be in charge of watching the inflation on the balls, though. Just saying. Bring up old wounds.
Had to bring that
I know
up.
it. I'm just saying. Somebody needs to be in charge.
Who else is performing at halftime? Lady Gaga and they usually have like 3, don't they?
Oh,
that kind of go together.
Yeah, I don't know.
Working my Google Foo right now.
I haven't really been paying as much attention to the Super Bowl this year. Got so disappointed with the Cowboys getting knocked out. But
yeah, well, and the prices for the tickets went way down. Still too rich for my blood, but a lot. And they were saying if you were ever gonna felt the need to go to a Super Bowl, this would be the one because prices were a lot cheaper
more reasonable,
than any other.
Really?
Yes.
Country star Luke Bryan is singing the national anthem.
I heard
very
that.
good.
Lady Gaga is performing at halftime. And the gimmick with that is that they're releasing hundreds of drones for some
into the stadium
gimmick, or in the stadium. It doesn't say what they're doing with it. That's
for
the
an
surprise.
Amazon commercial, maybe.
And and in between the end of the game and the trophy ceremony, they're going to be shooting a commercial. During the trophy ceremony, they're editing it, and then after the trophy ceremony, they're broadcasting it. It's some sort of like celebrating America and football, kind of end of the season kind of thing.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It'll be really cool.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
By the way, $5 million for a commercial is the latest. The past few commercials this past week were actually sold, and $5 million was the latest and greatest for Super Bowl 32nder. And hey, folks, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for the show. Hey, we will see you live next week as always, 8 to 9 a.m. Website InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday, folks. We're out of here. Neither the hosts nor the guests or contributors of the show Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga are attorneys, CPAs, tax advisors, or investment advisors, and are not providing legal advice during the course of the show. If you need professional legal advice or services in any of those categories, please seek the appropriate professional. The host is a licensed real estate agent in Texas with the Chris Arnold Premier Realty Brokerage, a fair housing broker and member of the MLS. Texas real estate agents are prohibited from providing legal advice.
The preceding program was furnished by K1 International, LLC, and is responsible for its content.
KLIF Dallas, KSCS FM HD2 Fort Worth,
KLIF
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 Fort Worth.